Hello, this is Dr. Sandeep Salunke, and in this video I am going to discuss with you about unit number 3, ratio analysis, which is in management accounting subject prescribed by Rani Channamma University Belagavi for BCom 5th semester. So this is my third video on ratio analysis. Please go through with my previous two videos. So at the end of the session, students are able to know various solvency ratios and efficiency ratios and how to calculate solvency as well as efficiency ratios. Solvency ratios. So let's first of all know what is solvency. Solvency means the ability of the firm to meet its long-term obligations. So solvency indicates the ability of a firm to satisfy its long-term obligations, and these solvency ratios are used to know the long-term financial position of the firm. Now there are three important long-term ratios are there. So which are those three? First one is debt equity ratio, second one is proprietary ratio, and third one is capital gearing ratio. Debt equity ratio. So what is debt equity ratio and what it actually indicates? This debt equity ratio indicates the relationship between borrowed funds, that is debt capital, and owner's fund, that is in equity. So in simple words, this ratio indicates the relationship between borrowed funds to owner's fund, and this ratio is also called as external and internal equity ratio. Why external? It shows the relationship between borrowed fund. And why internal? Because it indicates the relationship between equity, borrowed funds to equity. What is the formula for calculation of debt equity ratio? So debt equity ratio is equal to total long term debt divided by shareholders fund. So here long term debt means what? Debentures plus all other long term loans. So whatever loans, long term loans are taken by the company, these all included over here. So long term debt means debentures plus other long term loans, and shareholders fund means preference capital plus equity capital plus reserves and surplus, and more importantly minus preliminary expenses. If in the problem preliminary expenses are given, these should be deducted over here. Next, second one is proprietary ratio. So what is proprietary ratio? This ratio indicates the relationship between shareholders fund to total assets of the firm. Whatever proportion or relationship exists between shareholders fund and total assets of the firm is indicated by proprietary ratio. So what is the formula for this? Proprietary ratio is equal to shareholders fund divided by total assets. So already I have told you, shareholders fund means preference capital plus equity capital plus reserves and surplus minus preliminary expenses, and total assets means fixed assets plus current assets. So these together constitutes total assets. Next, third one is capital gearing ratio. So what is capital gearing ratio and what it indicates? So capital gearing ratio establishes relationship between fixed interest and dividend bearing funds to equity shareholders fund. Okay. So what is fixed interest and dividend bearing funds? The funds for which either fixed interest or dividend is paid to equity shareholders fund. So what is the formula for this? Capital gearing ratio is equal to fixed interest and dividends bearing funds divided by equity shareholders fund. Now what things constitute fixed interest and dividend bearing funds? So for debentures, for bonds, for long-term loans, for preference shares capitals, for these all things either fixed interest or dividends are paid. Let me explain in detail. For debentures, interest is fixed. For long-term loans, interest is fixed. For preferential share capital, payment of dividend is not compulsory, but if it is paid, the percentage is fixed. So that is why debentures, long-term loans and preference share capital are considered over here. And shareholders fund. So already equity capital plus reserves and surplus. Okay. So here equity shareholders fund it is. So equity shareholders fund means equity capital plus reserves and surplus. Next, problems on solvency ratio. Here I am going to discuss with you a problem on how to calculate solvency ratios. So on liability side, equity shares 5 lakh, 8% preference shares 2 lakh, reserves 3 lakh, 9% debentures 4 lakh, creditors 2 lakh. Okay. And on asset side, building 11 lakh, stock 2 lakh 40,000, cash in hand 2 lakh 60,000. So with this information, they have asked to calculate debt equity ratio, proprietary ratio and capital gearing ratio. So first, debt equity ratio. So what is the formula? Total long term debt divided by shareholders fund. So long term debt means in the problem on the liability side, there is only one long term debt is there, that is 9% debentures. So how it is? It is how much it is? 4 lakh it is. So 4 lakh. And shareholders fund. So what things are considered for shareholders fund? Equity capital is of 5 lakh plus 8% preference shares is of 2 lakh plus reserves is of 3 lakh. And preliminary expenses are not given, so we have not deducted it from here. Okay, so shareholders fund is 10 lakh. Okay, so 4 lakh divided by 10 lakh. So it is 0.4:1. Proprietary ratio. So what is the formula? Shareholders fund divided by total assets. So shareholders fund, already I have told you how much it is, 10 lakh. And the total assets means current assets as well as fixed assets. So it is 16 lakh. So 10 lakh divided by 16 lakh, it comes to 0.625:1. It means the relationship between, if the total assets are of rupees 1, then the shareholders fund constitutes 0.625 here. Now third one is capital gearing ratio. So what is the formula? Fixed interest and dividend bearing funds divided by equity shareholders fund. So here in the problem, fixed interest and dividend bearing funds includes two things: 9% debentures, that is of 4 lakh, and 8% preference share capital is of 2 lakh. So it is 6 lakh. And equity shareholders fund means equity capital 5 lakh and reserves 3 lakh. So it is 8 lakh. So 6 lakh divided by 8 lakh, it comes to 0.6:1. Next important discussion here, efficiency or turnover or activity ratios. So what is efficiency ratios? These ratios measures the efficiency with which the assets are managed in the business. So what this ratio indicates efficiency, as the very name indicates, it shows the efficiency with which the various assets are managed in the business. There are three important efficiency ratios: fixed assets turnover ratio, working capital turnover ratio, and stock turnover ratio. So here stock turnover ratio is very important. So let us discuss these ratios one by one. Fixed assets turnover ratio, as the name indicates, what this ratio shows? This ratio indicates the relationship between net sales to net fixed assets. So what is the formula of net fixed assets turnover ratio? fixed assets turnover ratio is equal to net sales divided by net fixed assets. So net sales means what? Sales minus sales returns. And what is net fixed assets? Net fixed assets means fixed assets minus depreciation. If in the problem depreciation is given, we have to deduct it. If it is not given, whatever fixed assets is given, it is net fixed assets. And in case of sales also, if sales return is given, we have to deduct it. If it is not given, sales is, whatever sales is given, that is considered as net sales. Working capital turnover ratio. Now, this ratio indicates the relation between net sales to net working capital. And what this ratio exactly shows? This ratio indicates whether the working capital has been efficiently used in making sales. And what is expected? Higher ratio indicates higher operating efficiency of the business and vice versa. Now, what is the formula of working capital turnover ratio? Working capital turnover ratio is equal to net sales divided by net working capital. So, as I told you, net sales means sales minus return, and net working capital means current assets minus current liabilities. Third one is, and this is very important, stock turnover ratio, or it is also called as inventory turnover ratio. So this ratio indicates the relationship between cost of goods sold to average stock. Cost of goods sold to average stock. Now, formula of stock turnover ratio. Stock turnover ratio is equal to cost of goods sold divided by average stock. So, how to calculate cost of goods sold, or what thing constitute cost of goods sold? Opening stock plus purchases plus direct expenses minus closing stock. Or we can also calculate cost of goods sold by sales minus gross profit. So, which thing we have to use here? Either first one or second one, it depends upon information given in the problem. And average stock means opening stock plus closing stock divided by 2. Now here I will explain this with one problem. So from the following information, calculate fixed assets turnover ratio, working capital turnover ratio and stock turnover ratio. Fixed assets 4 lakh, depreciation 2 lakh, sales 11 lakh, sales returns 1 lakh, current assets 2 lakh, current liabilities 1 lakh, cost of goods sold 2 lakh, opening stock 1,20,000, closing stock 80,000. So here first we have to calculate fixed assets turnover ratio. So net sales divided by net fixed assets. So what I told you regarding net sales, sales minus sales return. Sales is 11 lakh and sales return is 1 lakh. So net sales is 10 lakh. And net fixed assets. Fixed assets is 4 lakh and depreciation is given 2 lakh. So minus depreciation 2 lakh. So it comes to 2 lakh. So fixed assets turnover ratio is equal to 10 lakh divided by 2 lakh, it comes to 5 times. Working capital turnover ratio. So net sales divided by net working capital. So net sales already we have calculated, sales 11 lakh minus sales return 1 lakh, net sales is 10 lakh. And net working capital, current assets is of 2 lakh and current liabilities is of 1 lakh. So net working capital is equal to 1 lakh. So 10 lakh divided by 1 lakh, it comes to 10 times. So keep in mind, efficiency ratios are expressed in times. Next, stock turnover ratio. Okay. So this is very important thing. Stock turnover ratio is equal to cost of goods sold divided by average stock. So cost of goods sold, which is given in the problem, it is 2 lakh, and average stock, opening stock is 1,20,000, closing stock is 80,000 divided by 2, so it comes to 1 lakh. So 2 lakh divided by 1 lakh, so stock turnover ratio comes to 2 times. Okay, so this is what the discussion about various solvency ratios and efficiency ratios, and also I have discussed two problems, one on solvency ratios and one on efficiency ratios, and these are the books which I have taken as a reference for preparation of this study material.